Hi, I'm Intisai Siraj with Siraj Family Homes, and I'm at the Alabama Conference for Social Work 2020. This is my second year in attendance.
My name is Felicia Strouder, and I am intake and placement for the Alabama region.
My name is Bridget Burke, and I am CQI, which stands for Continuous Quality Improvement, and I do placements.
We are at the annual Social Work Conference, Alabama Social Work Conference in Perdido Beach, Alabama, and this is probably my fifth year attending this conference.
I've probably been attending combined about 9 years.
Each year, some of the same people come back, and so it's sort of a network. We get to see each other once a year, some of the vendors, but it's also an opportunity to meet new vendors, new exhibitors, meet new people, and I use it as an opportunity to invite people out to train for our foster parents from different agencies.
And I've seen, like she said, it's a lot of a revolving door, and so you get to network. And I'm from Mobile, and I met one of the supervisors here at the conference who referred a child to us, and so just keeping our name out there, so Siraj Family Homes, is very good for the agency.
We enjoy coming here. We love being at the beach, although most of the time it's raining or it's cold. But just the atmosphere of the people here, they're glad to be away from the office, and so it gives us all an opportunity to talk about what's new with our agencies. A lot of things change over the years, and so we get to talk about what's new and what's happening now. Get to meet some new companies that are up and rising. There's a new foster care agency that has emerged in Mobile. Yes, and so I had an opportunity to meet that person this year and network with her. They are therapeutic foster care, so Bridget, I'll have to introduce you to her. Yeah, but other than that, it's just a wonderful opportunity to be away from the office and get to meet new people.
Well, Mobile is virtual, so just coming together and meeting everybody is good.
My name is Marini Woodland. I am the regional manager for the Towson region, which is in Maryland, and the Mobile region in Alabama. We are in, Orange Beach, Alabama, at a social work conference. I always wanted to help people, and I always wanted to help children. At first, I wanted to be a pediatric nurse, but life happens, grades aren't good, college, and so I said, well, what else can I do, to help children and just be a helper? And so I started looking for jobs, and every job I found said you needed a master of social work. So I said, well, I guess I have to go back to school and get my master's in social work. And so it kind of, just life happens and leads you certain ways. And so I got my master in social work and started in child protective services. And here I am. The most rewarding part of being a social worker would just be helping and just being able to do so many different things. Supervisor, line work, therapist. I mean, you can do so many different things. So just the flexibility of the job. Technology has been a great help because obviously I can't come meet face to face with my Mobile region, being as though I'm in Maryland. So using Skype, video technology to have meetings, supervision, treatment planning, can Skype me in anywhere, anytime. Also Welligent, being able to look at treatment plans that's already in there and just data that's in there has been very helpful to manage the region without being physically in the region all the time. I think it'll just expand it even more. I mean, once they do like telehealth and now you're in the homes from wherever you are, it's many different jurisdictions, so just not in Alabama, but Florida and whatever the surrounding states. Geography is not my thing, but just expanding services. The experience in Perdido has been very nice. It's a little cloudy, so I would like to walk on the beach, but not yet. But the experience has been really good. I've been networking with other vendors that are here, so just learning about the services that are available in Alabama is awesome. Meeting face to face with just different providers is a good opportunity. They had as we call it, Aging Forward workshop this morning at the conference, and I thought that was very good because a lot of our youth are getting older and we need to know what services they need and how to really work with them effectively once they leave us. So that was a very good one. And also supervision workshops are of interest to me. Just to be a better supervisor, you can always learn and grow. So just attending those workshops, I think, are very helpful.
That responsibility, so you have these things in your life, and so you start to lay on social constructs as well as mental illness. And so she suffered from a personality disorder. I can kill myself. I wouldn't have done it, but I can see where it comes to that stretch. That I like that. Carrie, honor suicide. That has been going down in anime and cartoons. You'll see honor suicide in anime, Japanese anime is much more common. Just kill yourself, and you have the hereditary. And that is actually, how many of you know kids that watch anime?
My name is Rich Crow. We're at the Alabama Conference of Social Work down in Orange Beach, Alabama. And it's a conference that we carry on every year. And this is the 104th conference. I've attended probably 30 to 40 conferences. Right now I'm the co-chair of the exhibits committee. Well, I got involved with Siraj when I was doing some consulting with the federal court monitor in the RC case against DHR. And I was doing the work in Jefferson County at that time and worked with Abdul Siraj basically around placing children. And then I also worked with Ms. Stinson in doing the same thing. And as I've said to Abdul many times, Siraj never said no. And that was not something you could say about other organizations. Most people made up excuses why they couldn't rather than why they should. And Abdul was always so easy to work with, as was Mrs. Stinson, and I have sung his praises of Siraj Family Homes for years because of that. It made a big difference for what we were able to do in Jefferson County. And that's pretty much the extent of what I've done with Siraj in my lifetime. I would say that he and I are friends, not just acquaintances. I send him emails, he sends me emails. And every now and then we'll get together, not very often, maybe once a year or so. I'll come down to Montgomery and sit down and talk with him. I have a lot of respect for him. And I think he has some respect for me. The use of technology and how it will be applied in the social work field is an interesting question. I'm 80 years old, so for me to get too involved with technology or know much about it is a little bit iffy. I think we ought to use it to the extent that we can. I know that Siraj has used it analytically in terms of data. I would not be in support of using it in place of one-on-one interaction. You know, if you need to counsel somebody, I think you need to do it face-to-face, not me looking at a TV and you looking at a TV. I mean, I have a problem with that. I'm not saying that people don't do it, but I personally have a problem with that. So I think there's a place for it, but I think it needs to be used carefully in how it's used. Now, using it the way I know that Abdul has used it, in terms of, like I said, analytically, I think that's great. And he's much beyond a lot of organizations in that regard. Well, I've been retired. I used to teach at the University of Alabama, and I did that for 25 years in the School of Social Work. And I've been retired for 20 years. So there's been a lot of changes in the school that I taught at and in other programs around the country. Much of it I disagree with. I don't think someone should get a degree in a helping profession, like I was saying earlier, the face-to-face thing, through the internet. I think there's a place for the internet, but there's also a place for one-on-one. And I don't think people ought to be able to get a degree without showing up in a class somewhere from time to time.
We're going to do a little survey. So everybody stand up. Now, if you use no social media whatsoever, sit down. If you use zero social media, sit down. If you use one type of social media only, sit down. If you use two different platforms of social media, sit down. Only two. If you use three types of social media, sit down. Alright, we're starting to clear up a little bit. If you use four different types of social media, sit down. Alright, look around the room. If you use five types of social media, sit down. Six types.
My name is Betsy King, and reason I'm here, I'm co-chair of the exhibits committee for the Alabama Conference of Social Work. I started working this conference like 2007 maybe. I love seeing the people here, enjoy the friendships, and just doing this conference. So I continue. I'm now retired. I was a social worker, program manager at the Department of Human Resources, state office. I met Mr. Siraj probably at DHR, but then known him when he used to come to this conference occasionally. I started really working with him when I was working at the state office under the Department of Resource Management. They did the contracts, and would talk to him about special kids and getting them placed with his agency. The relationship's been wonderful. Siraj Family Homes and several people there, including Mr. Siraj, has always been very responsive to our group at DHR in trying to help us make sure we get children appropriately placed. I think remote work sounds like a very great idea. And I think that if anyone can put it together, Siraj Family Homes can. with Mr. Siraj leading the way. I see, I don't see any negatives about it. I just think it'll be hard to put it in place. But what reason do you have to have the brick and mortar office when you're serving families and you're in their homes all the time? And you're either at a DHR office or you're, somewhere else. And so I can see it happening. So I think I would tell any new social worker that they're going to run into issues and just be ready for them, and don't try to save the world, but just try to save one person, one child at a time, and you will do a good job.
To 11 of our sponsors, and if you want to look at that on your program, it's on page 10. That they are very consistent and supportive at sponsoring at the highest level, and we are just so appreciative that we have them to help us with our conference. First one is Blue Cross Blue Shield Carey Foundation. Behavioral Health Services. Are you here? The next is Siraj Family Homes.
Yes, absolutely. So be concise. How many of y'all have worked with somebody who can take them forever to tell you what they're trying to tell you? If they can sit next to you, just don't play. Don't do it, don't do it. All right, another thing, it's gotta be concrete. It's gotta be concrete. You gotta give me enough details to understand what you're saying. Because there's a big difference in saying, go to Walmart and pick up the red dress, then go to Walmart and pick up the red dress with the long sleeves and the bras. You get that? It's gotta be correct. Verify the information before you send it. You create a lot of issues if you don't. If you send misleading information, it should be coherent, which means that you're not mixing 5 or 6 different topics in one stream of communication. Y'all ever talk to somebody, they start talking about the rabbit, and before you know it, they talking about the trip to Hawaii? Yeah, that kind of thing. It's gotta be complete, which means you're answering the question of what, when, why, and where. And last but not least, certainly in the South, it's gotta be courteous. Stop sending them nice ass emails to folks. Because I think the real life happen over nice nasty emails.
We got a quick optionality on the stuff. Ours is a little bit different. I mean, this coin is way off.
They are a larger home infusion pharmacy. Located across the state.
That's why I was like,
oh, excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Case by case in Louisiana, we just never had.
They'll pay you that and pay.
Oh, okay.
We have a new logo. We're the same. Now we'll tell you the team if we're not secure.
I don't know what they I can feel that.